June 1943. Skies above New Guinea. The humid roar of jungle and distant thunder of Japanese fighters. A P-38 Lightning splits the clouds. It dives, it twists, and a burst of fire rakes a Mitsubishi Zero. The enemy plane spirals down. In that cockpit sits Richard Ira Bong, calm, precise, unrelenting. He's already tallied 12 kills and earned a reputation. But this morning will mark a new record. The Japanese pilots below whisper, "Who is this American in twin booms?" They do not know his name, but soon they will fear it. He would become America's ace of aces. 40 confirmed victories, a shining symbol of air superiority in the Pacific. Yet behind every tally was a man forged by danger, engineering, faith, and loss. This is his story. Richard Ira Bong was born September 24, 1920, in Poplar, Wisconsin. He grew up fixing tractors, reading engine manuals, reading the skies. He saved for a Cub airplane ride and never looked back. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, Bong enlisted in the U.S. Army Air Corps. He trained as a fighter pilot, flying P-39 Airacobras first, then converting to the P-38 Lightning, a plane built for speed, altitude, and endurance over the Pacific. In 1942 and early 1943, Bong flew stateside, mastering instrument flight, gunnery, formation tactics. He watched film, studied enemy planes, calculated deflection angles, practiced throttle control. He learned that the battle would not always be between machines. Sometimes it would be between mind and machine. August 1943. Bong's first aerial victory. A Japanese fighter caught him by surprise, but Bong broke swiftly, lined up, and fired. The Zero went down in spirals. He radioed with no exultation. He counted kills slowly, verifying gun camera footage, debriefing with his squad. Every claim needed confirmation. He understood integrity mattered, even in war. As he gained confidence, his tactics sharpened. He often dove below enemy formation, then slingshotted upward to strike. His preferred fight was one where he held altitude and speed, while the Zero pilots fought gravity and lack of air cover. The Lightning was built for this, he would say. The P-38's twin engines offered reliability. Its turbochargers preserved power at altitude. Its firepower was concentrated in a central nose. Bullets didn't have to converge. In New Guinea, long flights over ocean and mountain demanded range. The P-38 delivered. Bong used that margin, not just to fight, but to roam, to pursue, to patrol. Japanese pilots often complained. They flew from nowhere, struck, vanished. They lacked the fuel or radar to predict him. The P-38's strength wasn't just in metrics, but in how Bong used it. April 12, 1944. Bong shot 2 more Zeros over Hollandia. His total passed 26. He overtook Eddie Rickenbacker's WWI record. The press called him a legend, yet Bong remained focused. He didn't seek fame, he sought excellence. Later, he transferred briefly to training duty in the US. Some tried to keep him home, preserve the legend. But Bong asked for combat return. He said, "This war is still consuming lives. I must fly." December 8, 1944, MacArthur awarded Bong the Medal of Honor in the Philippines. The citation praised extraordinary aerial achievements, repeated missions over hostile territory, and leadership under fire. At that ceremony, Bong appeared weathered, pilot fatigued by war. Yet when he spoke humbly. He dedicated the honor to his wingmen, to the crews on the ground, to those who made every mission possible. In one mission, Bong encountered multiple enemy fighters alone. Fuel low, ammunition limited. He danced among tracers, rolling, diving, baiting them. He shot one down, then another. His fuel warning dinged, but he pressed on until he disengaged and returned to base. One Japanese ace later wrote he saw a twin-engine silhouette flash through the Sunrise guns, already behind them, already firing. They miscalculated the American. Often Bong flew without escort. His decision to press advantage, to trust his aircraft and instincts, cost less and gained more. Each dogfight was a test, a gamble, a revelation. In letters home, Bong described emerald jungles, burning airfields, exhausted nights, skies alive with tracer fire. But he also wrote of missing Wisconsin summers, of his sister's laughter, and of quiet evenings reading books by lamplight. He read scripture. He carried small symbols, a cross, a family picture. He believed his skills were gifts to be used responsibly. He did not boast. He listened to wingmen, to ground control. He credited his mentors, his tools, his crew chiefs. Even in war, he treated every life precious. He asked after missing friends. He prayed for safe returns. He grieved losses silently. The man behind the kill count was layered with duty, humility, and faith. August 6, 1945. War in Europe had ended. Victory seemed certain. Bong tested a new jet, the P-38 Shooting Star, at Muroc Field, California. The skies were quiet compared to New Guinea. The jets flew, but the shadows of combat flickered in memory. On takeoff or climb, his aircraft rolled, went out of control, and crashed. Richard Bong, long years of air combat behind him, perished testing the future of fighter flight. He died the same day the atomic bomb fell on Hiroshima. One war ended, another dawned. The death of the ace of aces hit the nation. Pilots everywhere grieved. Headlines cried loss. What did 40 kills mean in the larger Pacific War? It meant fewer Japanese fighters overhead. It meant air superiority in New Guinea, the Bismarcks, and beyond. It meant risky ground supply lines faced less air harassment. Bong's record often shadowed by systems. Production, pilot training, logistics. He was exceptional, yes, but he also flew within a well-funded, well-equipped force. His kills wouldn't matter if the Allies couldn't supply him, protect him, or maintain the P-38s. Still, his record stood for decades. He taught that excellence under fire matters. That individual skill, when matched with superior tools and support, can tilt battles. That courage isn't loud. Often it's silent, precise, consistent. Japanese pilots once whispered of an American ghost in the sky. They expected P-38s, but not pilots like Bong. They expected power, but not precision. They expected confrontation, but he gave them none, until they saw the smoke trail. Richard Ira Bong died young, but built a legend that endures. When historians speak of aerial war, of dominance, of bravery, his name arises. He was America's ace of aces. He flew with respect, humility, and a deep focus. He proved that the sky favors not just the strong, but the precise, prepared, and courageous.